Hello. Turn the volume up. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? I need a calendar. Hello, hello, hello. Give people a little more time to pop on. It is a beautiful Sunday. I am enjoying this time. I had some self care all day today. Hello. How is everybody doing? I can't tell who's on yet, so I'll give it a few more minutes. And then we'll get into our topic for tonight, Freedom Friday on Soul Sunday. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know who's on and where you're viewing from. We are having Freedom Friday on Soul Sunday. Put your name in the comments so I know who's on. I am doing live from my PC Ministries on my phone and my personal page on my computer. So I'll be looking like this. Hopefully, it's not too distracting. Hello. Put your name in the comments. Let me know who's joining me tonight on this beautiful Sunday. How are you doing? I am feeling wonderful. Enjoying all of the pictures on Facebook and Instagram of all these babies graduating. Exciting, exciting, exciting as they start their new chapter of their young adulthood life journey. We'll be getting started here in a few minutes. Give people time to hear that we're on. Remember that I'm on. I actually had to change my night. One of my grandbabies, it slipped my mind that she was having her VPK graduation on Friday night at 6:30. So Gigi could not miss that. So I had to move. I didn't want to cancel it, but I had to move it. So I hope this night doesn't affect the people that follow. But nonetheless, it'll be on my page. You can view it at any time. I do not take them down, so just feel free to go to PC Ministries page, go to the videos, photos, and look through. I also have a YouTube account, so follow me on YouTube, PC Ministries. Say hello, hello in the comments. Hello, hello, hello. Say hello. How are y'all doing on this beautiful Sunday? I hope you all had a relaxing day. I hope you had enjoyed your family. What did y'all eat? Did y'all go to church? Did y'all live stream? Just pray you all had a relaxing day as you get prepared for this upcoming week. I have a lot going on this upcoming week, so I will not be busy on social media this week. I have some procedures coming up that I will not be able to be on social media. So y'all keep your girl in prayer. Those of you that know the words of prayer, they can get a prayer through the roof. I'm gonna get started in a couple of minutes. Won't be before you long. Just want to keep it going. I have been enjoying PC Ministries and the topics that God has given me to share. And they are good. I watch my own videos, y'all. I watch my own videos. Take notes. I take notes to do the broadcast, but then I take notes when I listen to the broadcast to apply these principles and these tips and these tools to my own life. So I take notes off of my own videos, y'all. So I'm just glad you all are tuning in, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna be before you long. Again, this is PC Ministries Freedom Friday, where we deal with what you feel from the inside out. I had to, as I was saying earlier, I had to move my Freedom Friday from the 2nd to today. I didn't want to cancel it. I just wanted to move it for this week only because one of my granddaughters was graduating VPK on, I'm sorry, I had a blackout here. She was graduating VPK on Friday the 2nd out of town, and it slipped Gigi's mind, and you all know Gigi could not miss her sugar baby's graduation. So that's the reason I moved it from Friday to Sunday. So I guess we're having Freedom Friday on Soul Sunday this week only. Again, but Freedom Fridays are the first and third Friday of every month. And I also have coffee and conversations on the 2nd and 4th Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. On the 2nd and 4th Saturday mornings, coffee and conversations with Paula, where we talk about any and everything. Whatever's trending, we're talking about it on that day. So again, I thank you all for tuning in tonight for PC Ministries Freedom Friday, where we deal with what you feel from the inside out. I always say that I don't come to you because I have all the answers and that I am an expert. I am not a counselor and I am not a therapist. I am a transformation coach. I help people deal with life, make better choices, and whatever they're dealing with, I help and aid in those things. So I appreciate you tuning in, those that follow PC Ministries, those that support PC Ministries and the calling that God has on my life during this season. So without any further ado, I know you all saw the flyer, and it said it's time to unpack. And I know you saw some of the stuff that was on the luggage in the flyer. And those are just a few things that we need to unpack. We're unpacking anything that is hindering us from forward movement, anything that is keeping us from going to new heights, new levels, new things in Christ. We said this year is the new me in 2023, or we leveling up, sis, all of that. Well, we're unpacking the things that are keeping us from leveling up. We're unpacking the things that are holding us hostage, the things that are holding us back from being new, things that are holding us back from renewing our mind, the things that are holding us back from changing, making the necessary changes that we need to make in our life so that we can be all that God has created us to be. Those are the things that we're unpacking. And the reason I say unpack, those of you that are just picking up this topic tonight, is it's time to unpack. And the reason we need to unpack those things is because they're weighing us down. They're weighing us down. I don't know what it is for you, and I'm not speaking to anything in particular. It's your call. It's your assessment. Again, the challenge lies in not getting stuck in things of the past And it doesn't always have to be something in the past. It could be anything that's holding you hostage, anything that's stronghold that's keeping you from moving forward. It could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be a thing, it could be a habit, it could be a behavior, it could be anything. If that thing is holding you back and not allowing you to advance or move forward, then we need to unpack that. We need to get that out of our luggage. We need to get that out of our system, out of our way, so we can move forward. Okay, and if we hold on to hurts and the wounds, my notes are over here, so I'm looking at my other computer. But if we hold on to hurts and the wounds of the past or anything like that, we start to accumulate emotional baggage or dead weight of old experiences. And we don't want that. Those are the things that are going to hold us back. Those are the things that we need to unpack. Past hurts, past divorces, past relationships, past regrets, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, what else? Anything from the past. I mean, some of us are dealing with some trauma from the past, and not all things are just so easy to just say, unpack, I'm going to throw it away. We have to work through some things, but I think it in this season, in this time, it's time for us to address those things. It's time for us to go in the suitcase of our hearts and our minds and start pulling out some things that's weighing us down, that's keeping us back, that's keeping us from moving forward in whatever area of your life, whatever that means to you. We have to take an assessment of what that is. So we want to talk about a few points tonight as we unpack those things. We want to talk about letting go. Sometimes it's so hard to let go, and it's not easy for anybody. So I'm not saying let it go like, okay, let it go, let's move on. It's hard to let things go. And for whatever the reason is, it's not an easy thing to go. But when we talk about letting go, it's like what are the things that we hold on to that's really no longer serving us? Like what do we have in our suitcase of our heart and our mind, and the luggage of our heart and our mind, that's no longer serving us, that we're holding on to? And again, I'm posing these questions to you to ask yourself. Ask yourself these questions. What am I holding on to in my heart or my mind or my thought pattern that's no longer serving me? And why is it so hard for me to let it go? And that's a question you have to ask yourself. How do you behave concerning the thing that you're holding on to? How do you think concerning the thing that you're holding on to? Like, how does it govern your actions? How does it govern your thought pattern? How often does it govern your pattern? How often does it govern your behaviors or your thought pattern? How often does it affect you? And if you're listening, you're watching, let me know who's watching in the comments. Put your name down and where you're listening from. I would love the engagement. And even your comments and your thoughts on the subject. But again, what are the things that are you holding on to, that we're holding on to, that's governing our behavior and our thoughts? And how often is it? You know that once we become accountable to those things, it leads to self-observation. So when we acknowledge the things that are holding us back, or, you know, keeping us hostage, or the things that I don't want to let go, once we acknowledge, you know, I need to let this go, or once we acknowledge that this is something I need to let go, but I can't for some reason. Like, why is it so hard for me to let this go? And then once we make that accountability, we're accountable to that, it'll lead to self-observation. So it'll make you start to govern yourself. Look at what you're doing, how you're behaving, how you're thinking as it pertains to the thing or things that you have thought about. You have put in your mind, why am I not letting this go? Or why am I holding on to this? It'll lead to self-observation, which kind of leads to self-awareness. So it's a good thing. Don't look at it as a bad thing. It's a good thing, but it's time. And this, you know, it's already June, y'all. It's already 6 months into the new year. This new year just came around. It's already 6 months in. We're not getting any younger, and time is not waiting on any of us. And we're getting older. So if you're still dealing with things from 20 years ago, I think it's time. I'm not condemning you or to make you feel bad, because we all have stuff. I'm just admonishing you or encouraging you to let's take a look at those things that we're holding on to that's keeping us hostage. Whether it's keeping us hostage in our mind or inner, you're worth dealing with it. Even though somebody may not be able to see it or other people may not be able to tell, it's okay. But if you're dealing with it still on the inside, when you're with yourself by yourself, you still deserve, you're still worth unpacking that. Whether you're doing it alone or quietly, everything don't have to be on social media. When you're going through something, or you're going to a counselor or a therapist or a transformation coach or a life coach, it don't always have to be on social media. You could be working on things on your own. I'm encouraging you to do that because it's time. You are worth God's best for you. God created you the way He created you, with your mind, your thoughts, and all of that. But we have got to get the things that are hindering us, our forward movement, our forward progress. God gave His only begotten Son that we might have life, and life more abundantly. We need to get rid of the things, or unpack the things that's keeping us from abundant living. Abundant living is not just about things. It's not just about a nice house or a nice car or nice clothes and jewelry and smelling good and looking good and hair color. That's not abundant life. The abundant life that God gave His only begotten Son for us is not just about those. God says He wishes above all things that we prosper in health, even as our soul prospers. So He wants our soul. Our soul is our inner being, our thoughts. That's abundant living. We need to live abundantly from the inside out. And that's what PC Ministries is about, dealing with what you're feeling from the inside out. We've got to do it from the inside out, because we look good, we drive good, we smell good, we dress good, we got all of that. But some of us, and I'm inclusive in this, we're tore up from the floor on the inside out. And you deserve to be free on the inside. Just as you need to be as pretty and beautiful as you are on the outside, as you on the inside. Hey Yvonne, how are you? Thanks for joining in. We need to be just as beautiful on the inside as we are on the outside, and that's inner work. It doesn't always have to be on social media. Everybody doesn't always have to know what you're doing and what you're working on, because it's work. It's work trying to heal from trauma. It's work trying to deal with unhealthy behaviors or unhealthy thought patterns and let things go, or unpack things from your past. It's work. I don't know anybody that can just wake up one morning and just unpack and be okay. It's work, but you're worth it. Your life, your thoughts, how God made you, your career, everything about you, you are worth unpacking. And we have got to get to the bottom of the things that are keeping us hostage. Whatever that is. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own processes and all of that. But we have got to get to the things that are keeping us hostage individually. Whatever that is. Whatever you say that is. Again, like I said earlier, we have to get to the things that are no longer serving us. The things that we're holding on to that no longer serve us. Whether it's a divorce or a relationship or a job that we lost or a lost period or something that someone did to us, something our mother said to us, something our dad didn't do, whatever it is that you're holding on to that's keeping your mind hostage, that's keeping your heart hostage. Like, what do you do when how do you behave when that thing comes up? Or that person comes up? Like, what is your thought pattern when that comes up? And how often is it coming up? How do you behave? And that's what we're talking about today, the things that we need to unpack so that we can be new. We can renew. We can get to the things that we're trying to get to, because that's what we said. We're going to be the new me in 2023, and we're leveling up, sis. Well, I think to be the new me in 2023 and to level up, we have got to unpack the things that's going to weigh us down. Because just think of an airplane trying to take off. There's so much weight. There's a maximum weight level that the airplane can have on board to be able to take off and fly to the right altitude safely. Well, we're not going to be able to level up or get to the new us safely, because that stuff is going to weigh us down, and we're not going to be able to rise to new levels change our mind. We're not going to be able to do that unless we look at the things that we need to unpack. We need to go into the suitcases and the luggage of our hearts and our minds, and we need to sift through some of those things. And just like we do with our clothing, some stuff we can't wear anymore, we need to get rid of it. Go put it in the bin. I mean, we don't really want to give it to nobody else, but throw it out, get rid of it. We need to get some of this stuff out and figure out why we are holding on to it if it's hard for you to let go. Again, accountability leads to self-observation, which then leads to self-awareness. And that's a good thing. We being self-aware allows us to see what we're doing. It also allows us to see how we're behaving and how we're thinking. That's being self-aware. It's us taking accountability for how we're thinking, how we're acting, and how we're behaving, and how we're thinking. Like, what are our behaviors to certain things? What are our responses to certain things? What are our reactions to certain things? And you put the certain thing there, whatever it is. Why do I behave that way when this comes up? Why do I respond like this? Why do I react like this when this thing comes up? Certain environments or around certain people or types of people. I know me, I had a complex because I didn't have my degree, and I really wanted it, but it's just life. And I would decrease, I would like get intimidated around other women that had their degrees. Like, I would just feel less than, or I would water myself down. But that was an inner problem for me that I had to address, and I had to look at my own personal value. So it's stuff like that. When I say certain people or certain types of people, it's not them, it's us. It's like, why do we behave that way, or why do we respond that way, or why do we react a certain way around in certain environments, or around certain people or types of people or certain situations. This is something that you have to ask yourself. And this, again, I don't have the answers. I'm just putting it out there in hopes that it will start a dialogue or some self-accountability, awareness, or observation within yourself as you go throughout your week or your days, or in your growth process, whatever that is. Again, and to help with this. Hey, Andrea, how are you? Beautiful. Thank you for joining. We're talking about it's time to unpack the things that are ensnaring us, the little foxes that are spoiling the vine. We gotta look at these things. Like I said earlier, some of us were beautiful on the outside. We're driving nice. We got a beautiful home, beautiful family, got a job, all of this. But on the inside, man, we need some work. Our inside does not match our outside. And just think, and y'all know, it's just a matter of time before the outside gonna look like the inside. It's just a matter of time, because what's in you is gonna come out of you eventually. It's gonna start seeping out. And a lot of times we don't want people to know how we really are on the inside, because we know it may not be right, or it may not match the outside. Well, it's time, y'all. It is time to unpack. It is time to walk worthy of the call on your life, whatever that call is, whatever God has placed on you, or whoever you are, how He's made you fearfully, whatever it is, it's time for you to walk worthy of that. And that's just lining up from the inside out with who God has called you. That seems simple, and like I said earlier, it is hard to address hurts and past things, or things that we're holding on to. Not everything is not a hurt. It could just be habits, things that we do that we shouldn't do. I'm just talking about anything that keeps us from forward progress, anything that keeps us from advancing, because we said this is the new me in 2023. Well, what is keeping you what is keeping you from being the new you? Like, what did you bring? I think I said this on one of my previous PC Ministries. What did you bring from 2022 into 2023 that kept you back in 2022, and it's going to keep you back in 2023? It's time to address those things. It's time to look at what that is and why I continue to pack that in my suitcase and take it everywhere I go. Are y'all hearing me? Like, what is it that we keep packing and toting and transporting everywhere we go? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a relationship or whatever it is. What's keeping you back? Why the thing that's keeping you back? Why do we keep packing it in each suitcase and taking it everywhere we go? Hey, Grant Browder, thank you for joining. Like, what is it that you keep packing in your suitcase and taking with you everywhere you go, every location. We take it home. We take it with us in the car. We take it to work. We take it when we move. We take it when we go on vacation. We take it. What is it that you take that you know is no longer serving you? That you know you need to unpack, but it's hard. Again, it's some of this stuff is hard, but like I said earlier, accountability leads to self-observation, which leads to self-awareness. And it's going to lead to the abundant life that God gave his only begotten son for you. And we've got to unpack those things. So ask yourself, where am I headed? And is holding on to this or it keeping me from getting there? Like whatever we're holding on to, wherever you said your goal is for this year or the new me in 2023, okay, what's keeping you from getting there? Ooh, Andrea said unforgiveness. Yes, buddy. And I did a whole, I think a couple of week series on unforgiveness. So if you are looking, go back through PCMinistries page and go to the videos and look up the videos I did on unforgiveness. They're good because that does keep us. You're right, Andrea. That keeps us from moving forward because it is like poison. And y'all know what they say about that. It's like drinking poison. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping for the other person to die. It's not hurting them, it's hurting you. Grant Browder said, trying to unpack old family dynamics and praying for freedom through forgiveness. Whoo! Yeah, I think Grant, Lane, we're gonna have to collaborate on that subject. I think that'll be a good collaboration that we can both do on that one because, again, we have to unpack some family dynamics or some family traumas and things. It's hard because that's our makeup, that's our bloodline, that's our legacy. But some things are unhealthy. Andrea said it's feeling like you're not enough. We have to unpack that. Again, like I said earlier, with that, Andrea, I love that. Feeling like you're not enough, because when we can acknowledge that we feel like we're not enough, that's the first step because we have to take accountability for that feeling. And taking accountability for that feeling leads us to self observation to figure out why I feel like I'm not enough. Like, what about me makes me feel that way? What situation am I in? What do I keep bumping into or allowing or whatever to make me feel like I'm not enough? And then when you start that observation, it'll take you to self awareness. And then we start opening up, and that takes us to healing. It really does. And people, we don't like to address, feeling like you're not enough is an issue. It is an issue, and we don't like to address issues. Trying to unpack old family dynamics is an issue. We have issues. And the Bible tells us to guard our heart about everything because out of it flows the issues of life. And again, we're unpacking the luggage of our heart and our mind so we can grow and we can get to the new me in 2023 and we can level up, sis. All of that stuff. It's wonderful. We deserve it all. We deserve to renew our mind, but we're not going to be able to take off with this luggage that's weighing us down. So again, to help us on this journey, ask yourself, where am I headed? Is holding on to what I'm holding on to, this, or whatever it is, keeping me from getting where I'm headed to? Wherever it is that you set your sights on, your goals on, or wherever God is taking you, He can tell you the things that are so easily snaring you, the little foxes that are spoiling that. He'll reveal it to you. And a lot of times we know. It's just hard for us to address. It's hard for us to, some of it's emotional baggage. Some of it's traumatic. It really is. And like I said earlier, it's easier said than done. But you owe it to yourself. You are so worth purging and cleansing and addressing these things so you can be whole and free. Free, y'all. Like free of feeling like you're not good enough. Free from being stuck in a family dynamic that's not serving you, that's not healthy for you. Free from negative mindsets and thoughts and behaviors. You can be free from that. But in order to free ourselves from that, we have got to address it. And you can address it bit by bit. Take as much as you can take to address it. But with God, you can do anything. I'm telling you what I know. Grant said, Andrea Graham, direct attention to journaling to determine it. Yes, we must realize that our emotions lie. Andrea, that's a whole message right there. Your emotions will lie to you. Ooh, y'all need to look at my last PCMinistries. They will lie to you. They will lie to you because they dictate. And again, the enemy goes to and fro, seeking to whom he may devour. And he doesn't stop. He shoots darts at us, and he's targeting our mind because he knows where we're going to, and he tries to stop us. So he will use anything from our past, anything. And you know, our emotions, we have to check those things because ooh, that's a whole nother message right there. That's we're gonna have to do something on that one, ladies, because we have to check those emotions. Now let me move on to this right here. We were talking about unpacking things that are no longer serving us, unpacking the things that are hindering our forward progress. Okay, what about dealing with the same thing over and over? Okay, in Isaiah 43 says it tells us to not remember the former things nor consider the things of old. God said he will do a new thing and it'll spring forth. So we should be aware. And he said he'll make a way for us. But I want to focus on, it says, do not remember former things nor consider the things of old. We have to, it's telling us we have to let it go. We have to let it go. It's not telling you exactly how, but we have to do the work to let things go. It's in the Bible. And God does not want us to remember former things or consider the things of old. He wants us to do a new thing. He wants to do a new thing in us, but we have got to give him the platform or the space in our hearts and minds to do the new thing so we can accept the new thing. God is ready. God is ready to move us forward. He's ready to advance us. He's ready to do a new thing. But we have got to get the things out of the way that's in the way of him trying to do the new thing. Like, no flesh is going to glory in his presence. So the things that we're trying, I know I desire to be in his presence, but as some things, mindsets, behaviors, attitudes, and things like that, habits that I cannot take into his presence. So now I have to go through accountability and self-observation and self-awareness to remove some of the things that's keeping me out of his presence, that I can't get the fullness of his presence, the fullness of his joy, the fullness of his peace, because these things are weighing me down. When we hold on to these things and we refuse to unpack these things, it just weighs us down. And just like the children in the wilderness, they went around a mountain, around for years, murmuring, complaining, not wanting to make the changes they need to make. And they wandered, and we don't want to wander. I'm tired of wandering. I know you are. So we have to stop and address why I'm still wandering around the same thing over and over. Like some things, like I said, what did you bring in from 2022 into 2023 that you know you should have left in 2022? I can tell you some of the things I brought, and it is not that we just pick it up and bring it. Sometimes it just slides in through our normal habits, our normal routines, our normal things that we normally do that we just don't pay attention to. It slides right in with it. Slides right in. Andrea said we have to repent for what we did. We have to turn back to him, and we have to find people in our lives that walk, that are gentle and kind and more caring and understanding to talk to. Yes, you're absolutely right, Andrea. And I think that's in my notes. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna bring that back up because here I have in here, okay, people say, well, you're saying we have to address these things and we have to do this. How do we let those things go? How do we hold ourselves accountable to those things? Andrea said David did not forget what he had done. His sin was ever before him, but yet God was He sure did. And David was not a perfect man. And God said he was a man after his own heart. After everything that he did, committed murder, adultery, all of that. And God said he's a man after his own heart. Come on, y'all. And we ain't done half the stuff David did. So if God can say that about David, come on now. So there is hope. There is hope. Grant Browder said relationships, both personal and professional, that have shifted to where they no longer, yes. And we have to be okay. You know, I know one of the things, all my girls are grown and on their own now, but as they were graduating high school, one of the things that we set to teach them as they were transitioning into young adulthood is we taught them about the fork in the road. And it happens in life. It happens in close friendship. It happened with BFFs. It happens. And fork in the roads are not bad. It's just you make a decision, one friend go that way, you may be going the other way, and it's okay. And we have to be okay with allowing the fork in the road. The fork in the road is real. And sometimes we get caught up in holding on to things or putting things in our suitcases of our heart and our mind because we don't know how to let things go. Or the season in our life for this person is over. Or it's not the same anymore. It's not as prevalent as it used to be. I'm not best friends with, I don't have the same best friend I had when I was in high school. I mean, life. And I still know her. She still knows me. We're cool, but we're not best friends. And it's okay. No, she didn't do anything to me. I didn't do anything to her. It's just life. So we have to be okay with knowing and shifting when those things no longer serve us. And it's okay. So it is, or hinder progress on certain. Yes, that is exactly right. So people always ask, how do we do that? Well, first thing in unpacking it or things is we have to understand how that you have a choice. Like, you're not a victim to your circumstances. You're not a victim to anything that you've gone to. You're not, and nobody can tie you to your past but you. They can talk, they can try to guilt trip, they can do all that stuff, but it's still your decision. It's still your decision. So you have a choice in letting things go. It's your choice. And no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, no matter what they try to hold over your head, or sometimes people try to pull on your loyalty or your heartstrings and stuff like that. If you feel it's time to move on, that's your decision. You don't have to be a victim to circumstances or issues. You don't even have to be a victim to your trauma. You decide when enough is enough. It's your decision. I always say the Bible tells us not to give into the offensive things. And out of that, I made up in my mind years ago that offense is a choice. I can choose whether I want to be offended or not. Somebody can say something or do something, as long as they ain't putting their hands on me. That's different. But I can make a decision whether I want to allow something somebody did to offend me, something somebody said to offend me. I make the decision whether I want to allow that to offend me. I make that decision. It doesn't matter what they say. It could be something horrible. It could be something terrible. It could be a lie from the pit of hell. But I still have the power to make the decision whether I want to allow that to offend me. It's still my decision. So that's with anything. We don't have to be a victim to the things around us or the things that have happened to us in the past. Although some of it is hurtful, some of it is traumatizing, some of it has really affected us, it comes a point in time to where we have to make the decision, enough is enough, whenever that is for you. Some of us have to go to therapy for that. Some of us have to go to counseling and seek life coaching and pastors and things like that, and transformation coaches and stuff like that to help with that. However you need to do it, then do it. But it's still your decision. So this is how we let go. This is how we unpack. You decide whether you want to move on. You decide. And then 2, we have to learn the difference between learning from our past and letting our past control us. A lot of times we look back at our past. People say, oh, you shouldn't look back. You shouldn't look back. I'm okay with looking back. Briefly, looking back, if it's going to help you heal, as long as we don't stay back, as long as we don't allow it to pull us back into the past. You get what I'm saying? We have to learn the difference between learning from the past and allowing our past to control us. Andrea says, comes to us so that when we are strengthened, we can strengthen the burdens. How do I know that I can make it through this unless I know someone else? You got that right. And that right there, Andrea, is like key for me. The Bible says we overcome by the word of our testimony. People need to know that they're not the only one going through something, because people look at us like, oh, you got this and you do this and you do this and you look like, you don't look like you did this, you don't look like you did this, but baby, I got some stories to tell you. So these platforms like this, sharing our testimonies and giving keys and tools that we use ourselves. Y'all, this is stuff that I use. This ain't something that I just read. This stuff that I use, that we use ourselves to help us deal with some of the same bull crap that y'all deal with. Yeah. I have to bridle my tongue. I have to sometimes bite my tongue in half. Woman of God, the preaching, I have to bite my tongue in half sometimes. We all go through stuff. We all have things like that we have to work on. We're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And if we was perfect, we wouldn't need God. Grant said, I've always reminded myself and my children, every comment doesn't require a response. So true. Bite your tongue in half. Because sometimes no response is a response. And it's loud and clear. I learned that. I don't have to defend myself, especially when people are determined to misunderstand you. There's nothing you're going to be able to say to make them understand you, or no, they're determined to make you look bad, or they're determined to make you sound stupid, or so why say anything? You don't have to defend it. Sharing testimonies, assist and support others through struggles. You're right. You're right. Amen. Amen. I've learned that gravely with everything that I've gone through concerning breast cancer the last couple of years. I have learned that, and people need to hear it. People need to see me. People need to see how I'm going through it, how I went through it, what I did, what I didn't do, what worked for me, what didn't work for me, and how I'm able to fight. They need to know. And it took me a minute to grasp that, because people, who she thinks she is, and every time she on here, she talking about that. So people look at my post when I post the beginning of every month, when I post the reminder to get your mammograms, and I post a picture of me saying, I like when I just did in the picture, I said, in this picture, it was a month before I was diagnosed. I had breast cancer. I know I didn't look like the people. They're picking out the wrong thing and they're missing the point. So people that do that, they're trying to do that. So it doesn't want a response. If that's what you want to pick out, that's you. But it's going to the people that it needs to go to. So yes, sharing our testimony, it does assist and support others through their struggles. And I'm all in. God has done too much for me. God has done too much to me and through me. And I owe him my life. And he knows I gave it to him. He showed me. He showed me. He said he will use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And he showed me. And I hate that it had to be through, the guise of breast cancer. But I'm here. And I'm not turning back. I'm not turning back. So, again, we have to learn the difference between learning from our past, our past mistakes, our past decisions, whatever, past regret, whatever. We have to learn the difference of learning from our past and letting it control us. It's healthy to look back, but we can't become preoccupied with our past, that it continues to dictate our future, that it continues to dictate our behavior and our thought patterns or our actions. See, I don't want to look back at my past. I glance back every now and then to remind myself of how far I've come and what I don't want to do no more. And it helps keep me accountable. It helps keep me focused. But I don't stay there. I don't stay there. I look at the habits that I had in certain things, the behavior, the mindset, things. And one of the things that I'll share this with you, that I'm working on this year, is changing my mindset from being so common. Like I need to level up in my thinking. And that's one of on my vision board, on my prayer in my prayer journal is one of the things that I am working on in this season because the mindset prior to breast cancer and this season and this level that God has me on right now, the mindset that I had prior to this is not conducive to the calling that He's placed on my life right now. So that's something that I am working on spiritually, is leveling up in my mindset because I can't, some of the things that I think about myself and certain things and certain perceptions that I have are not conducive to the calling that God has on my life now, the anointing that He has on me. And I have to work on mindset. And that's one of the things that I'm working on, that I'm unpacking certain mindsets, certain thought patterns, and even, my own value in certain areas. I'm unpacking that. So this is a good topic for myself because I'm learning how to be accountable, which leads to my self-observation, which leads to my self-awareness. And it's making me be self-aware in some areas that I need to improve in my thoughts and my mindset and my thought patterns and things like that. Grant says, same here, no longer lessening my abilities to give. Yeah. And it's all about, I think for me, it's helping me. My husband said something to me a while back. He said, you don't value yourself the way other people do. And it was like, and I wrote that down and I dated it. And I prayed about it. I'm like, and I started dissecting it. Like, how could he say that to me? It's like, I do value myself. But I started looking and assessing and observing. And it was like, whoa, some of the things I say to myself. Some of the actions, some of my responses, like I said, behaviors too, responses too, reactions too. If you check out your behaviors to certain things, your responses to certain things, or your reactions to certain things, it'll highlight some areas in you that you need to unpack. Andrea said, how do you handle forgiving people, but yet still have to deal with this who have hurt you? It's I I deal with that all the time, Andrea. It's a matter of the heart. It's for me how I do it. Because I want to please God, I keep that as my focal point and I take my eyes off of that person and what they did. Now it's a process. It's a process because every time you see them, there's a behavior, there's a response and a reaction every time. But I am aware in the moment. Like I grab the response, I grab the reaction, and I grab the thought, and I bring it into subjection to the things of God. That's how I do it, and I have to do it in that moment. If you know how the Bible says, be slow to speak, slow to anger. That I have to do that in that moment, and that helps me step out of that unforgiveness in that area. It helps me step out of what they did. It helps me step out of that they ain't even sorry. It helps me step out of that, and then I bring it into subjection to the things of God. So it is a matter of the heart. Hey, cuz, yeah, it is definitely a matter of the heart, and then it's a matter of who I want to please in that moment. And I know we all, and I know you all, and I know you, Andrea, I know you want to please God. So it's changing the will to be in my flesh in that moment and hold on to what they did and why I don't want to forgive them. I'm like, okay, I want to please God. So God is telling me to do this. So it's just exchanging it in the moment every time. If it didn't just work the one time, because God is going to test you. He's going to bring it before you so you can work on it. He's going to bring it before you so you can work on it. So he's a teacher. God's a teacher and he's love. So he's going to bring it before you. And it's just practice. It's practice. And it's just, you have to remove the emotion. For me, I had to remove the emotion out of it. I had to remove what they did, how I felt. I had to come out of the flesh as it pertained to that and remember that I'm trying to be pleasing to God. And that we all have to give an account to everything we say and do. They did, the ones that did something to us, And the reason that we can't forgive them, all of that, they have to give an account to that. And I have to give an account to my responses, my behaviors, and my reactions too, as well. So those were the things that I had before me as it pertained to that. That's how I dealt with it, Andrea. Grant said, we've grown up giving to others often in spite of ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. Watering yourself down. And that was my last coffee and conversations. How we have learned how to take the blame for things that we didn't do just to keep the peace. Y'all go back and look at that coffee and conversation. It was last Saturday. Sometimes we've been brought up to, and I think it's a learned behavior. I don't think we were taught to do that. I think it's a learned behavior that we just don't even, we just keep the peace. It's not even worth it. Because why? And that turns into people. It turns into other things. So we have to watch out for that. Watch out for that. So again, we have to learn the difference between learning from the past and letting it control. It's healthy to look back, but we cannot become preoccupied with our past that it continues to dictate our future. Do not let your past define you. Defining you is God's job. Did y'all hear that? We cannot allow our past to define us. And think about it. Think about the areas in your life where you have allowed your past to define you, to tell you who you are, to tell you how to think, to tell you how to be, to tell you how to respond, to tell you how to behave, to tell you how to think. Your past. And it's easy. It's the enemy is slick. He's slick. And we just do it. And then we've been doing it so long, it's just our way of being. We're passive. We just go along with it. We keep the peace. But is that your past defining you? Think about it. You are God's workmanship. You're not your past workmanship. You're not the enemy's workmanship. You might be because you've allowed yourself to, he's your puppet master. But you gotta get rid of that. We're unpacking. It's time to unpack. We have to change who has ownership over our mind and our behaviors and our heart. We have to change the ownership. It's time to cut some ties, y'all. It's time to cut some stuff loose. It's time to unpack. And some of us, the enemy has ownership over our actions and our behaviors. Again, if we're unpacking, and again we are looking at, we're having a self-observation, a self-examination right now. And we're asking ourselves these things, like who has ownership over your heart and your mind? What has ownership over your heart and your mind? Does your job have ownership over your heart? Is your job your identity? Is your husband or your boyfriend or your ex, whatever, is that your identity? So some of the ladies, and I do a lot for single ladies, and one of the things I point out to the single ladies that I coach is you've broken up, your guys are no longer together, and he's moved on. But he took you with him. You allowed him, through your connection, your soul tie, whatever, you allowed him to take you with him. But he's moved on. So you have to understand that just because you broke up with somebody or whatever, you have to let it go. You have to get to the place to where you get to who you are and cut the ties or cut, the hold or the stronghold. You have to find out how and release that, cut it, whatever you got to do, because it's not healthy for you. Grant says, still exploring who he created me to be, reviewing my childhood experiences and the directions it was taking, what or who. And that's what self-discovery, self-observation, acknowledgement, accountability, and self-awareness is all about. And it leads you to healing. It really does. Although some of the exploring and the things that we have to look through is painful sometimes, trust me, I've been through it. Trust me, I still go through it. It is healing on the other side of our fear. It is healing on the other side of our trauma. It's healing on the other side of your hurt. Is healing on the other side of bitterness. Is healing on the other side of resentment. Is healing on the other side of unforgiveness. It is, y'all. It's easier said than done, but there is healing. I'm telling you, I know from experience. But we've got to go through it. We've got to uproot the things that are hindering us. We've got to unpack and uproot, cut it at the root, so it can't hinder us and bring us down or bring us back or hold us strong anymore. It's time. You're worth it. You're worth it. You are worth it. Sometimes when we're letting go or we're unpacking, we have to delete, remove, and unfollow. And y'all get it in this era of social media. Sometimes you gotta break up the algorithm. You gotta change what you're looking at. You gotta change who you are around. You gotta change what you're listening to. You might have to delete some people. You gotta unfollow some people and remove some people, places, or things. Whatever it is, you have to be willing to do that because you're worth it. Because you're taking an assessment, you're taking an observation of where you are and your forward progress, and these things are no longer serving me. So you've got to realize, you've got to be okay with deleting and unfollowing and removing. You can't stay in a place. You can't stay in a place or with those who God is calling you to leave. Again, we talked about the fork in the road before earlier. If God is changing your direction or changing your taste or changing your goal in your career, and this group of people or this thing or this behavior or whatever is not conducive to where God is taking you, if you trust God and you want God's best for you or you want what he has for you and he's telling you to let this go, or you realize I can't do this because it's not helping me move forward in this, we have got to be willing to delete, remove, and unfollow because you're worth it. You're worth it. You can't stay where God is calling you to leave. So you've got to be willing to delete, remove, unfollow, and unfriend. Whatever it is, people, places, or things, habits, careers, jobs, whatever it is. And it's easier said than done. All of this is easier said than done, but you're worth it. And we're all doing this. It's not that you have to do it yourself and you're the only one that has to do this and go through this. I've had to delete and unfollow, unfriend. Yeah. And some I would have to give, I felt that I needed to give an explanation to because of the relationship, and some I didn't. But where God is taking me and what he has for me is more important to me in my life, and being pleasing to God is more important to me in this season of my life than people or things. It's not all about people. It's not all about that. It could be things and habits and certain things that we've built up for ourselves. Serving God and pleasing God and being who he's called me to be, walking worthy of the call that he has on my life is more important to me. So I am willing to delete, unfollow, remove things that are not conducive to where he's taking me. Said God can make us uncomfortable when change is needed, honey. I know we done all been through that on the job. Everything is pissing you off at the job. Don't nothing go right. Everything is wrong. Be like, whoa, what is going on here? This is too much. God could be making you uncomfortable. And sometimes, y'all tell me if I'm right or wrong, sometimes we won't move unless God move us. We be so comfortable. We be so set. Don't, because sometimes we just be comfortable. We be good with a little money coming in and comfortable and secure. And God talking about faith and require. And then we don't, sometimes he have to move us. He have to move us. I remember telling God years ago, like maybe 5-6 years ago, if he gave me the opportunity to minister full time, like PCMinistries, help people deal with what they feel full time, I'll do it in a heartbeat and wouldn't worry about pay. Y'all, what am I doing? And he reminded me of that I said that earlier this year. He reminded me. I was like, Lord, I gotta get back to myself. And I gotta, I've worked in corporate and I've done all these jobs. I gotta get to myself. And he reminded me of what I said previously, what I said to him. And I was like, ooh, I did say that. So I had my uncomfortable period. Trust me, these last 2 years was very, very uncomfortable. So sometimes he does make us uncomfortable. But God will use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. He will pick the ones from the back and move them to the front. He will pick something that you deem scary and impossible and make that thing possible. We can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. So we cannot allow our past to define us. That is God's job. God says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. The enemy didn't make us. Our past didn't make us. Our trauma don't make us. And if we're not careful, those things try to make us, because we conform to those things. We conform to those habits because we're always faced with it. We're dealing with it. We're dealing with it. And when we're not careful or watchful, and it just through trial and error and through habit and just life, sometimes we conform to the thing that is troubling us, the thing that is hindering us through repetition and just trying to deal with it in life and whatever. Say, you know better, you do better. And at the time that we were dealing with it, we didn't know better. So we conform to the thing that troubles us. We conform to the things that hinders us sometimes. So we have to become in some areas, or like I said, unpack some mindsets. We have to unpack some behaviors and habits and ways about us. We have to unpack. And to unpack, we have to unzip the suitcase, our heart, our mind, and start pulling stuff out. And some of the stuff we can just pull it out and throw it away. Some stuff we're not meant to pull out, and we might have to look at it a little bit and kind of see. That's the process. But you are worth it. A lot of times we have to, how we're still talking about how to let it go, how to unpack, and sometimes we have to seek healing. Like we were talking about some of the comments in the comment section here, we have to seek healing from some of this trauma. You know, some of us have broken hearts, things that we're struggling to let go. And we have to make whatever changes we need to reinforce our decision to move forward. So I'm gonna be an advocate for therapy. I'm an advocate for it. I'm an advocate for counseling. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm an advocate for seeking a life coach. I think Grant Browder is a life coach, and she's in the comments. I'm a transformation coach. I'm not a a certified life coach yet, but I am a transformation coach. So we have people that can help. We have people that can help. We have people that can help us deal with our heal from our trauma and our behavior issues that we have. There are people everywhere, and there are some people that don't cost anything. There are some people that don't cost as much as you can find it if you really want it. And there are people out there. There are genuine people like myself and Grant Browder. I knew her. I know her. I grew up with her. There could be people in your church that are genuine. If you want it, you can find it. But you are worth it. And you have to seek healing from your past trauma, your broken heart, or anything that you're struggling to let go. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It doesn't have to be anything traumatic. It could just be anything, any habit, any behavior, or anything that you're struggling to let go that's no longer serving you, but it's keeping you from moving forward. You want to address that, and you want to seek healing and help if you need to, because a lot of times I'll do it myself. Okay, like he said, and how long you gonna go around this mountain? Y'all been out here wandering and complaining and dealing with the same thing for 40 years. So since you're gonna do it yourself, what year are you on? How long you been dealing with the same thing? It's okay to say we need help sometime. It's okay. I'm a transformation coach, and I got a therapist. So it's okay to admit that we need help. It's not a bad thing. That's powerful, because there are people that God will send your way. There are people that can help, that are genuine, that really mean you well. So you have to seek help, and then you have to make whatever changes you need to reinforce your decision to move forward and unpack. Again, that's getting back to, we need to delete, remove, unfollow, and unfriend some people, places, or things. You have to be in a place to where you can make that decision to reinforce your decision to unpack, to reinforce your decision to move forward. And then you have to surround yourself with people that support your new decision. You can't if you got people that you've been stealing and killing and drinking and everything else with, and you've been delivered, or you want to make that change, you can't, and they're still doing that, you can't go back and hang with them. You can't. You have to be willing in your mind and your heart, honest enough to make that decision if you're serious. Now, if you're not serious, then it's going to be easy to fall back into those habits in that circle of friends. But when you're really serious about your forward progress, or you're really serious about unpacking things, then you will make the changes necessary, to surround yourself with the people that are going the same way, that the people that can help you with the things that are now serving you now. So you're worth it. You are worth it, and it is really time to unpack. Like this, the topic of tonight's Freedom Fridays, it's time. It is time. You have to ask yourself, how long have I been dealing with this? And then you have to observe it, take accountability for it, observe it, and then be self-aware about it and make the necessary changes you need to make, to move forward, to move away from it, or to address it, and to see why it's hard for you to let it go, or it's hard for you to unpack, or why do I keep packing this in every suitcase that I take? Why? Get to the bottom of it, because there's healing there. So God understands where you are, and He's our present help in the time of need. We can do all things through Christ that strengthens us, and God can transform your pain into positive growth. Everything can play a part in God's greater purpose for your life. So give it up trying to change the past. So we can't change the past, it's already happened. But what you can do is change the outcome of your future. So give up trying to change the past and ask God to help you unpack and move forward without regret. Unpack the things that are holding you back. Like we said, this is new me in 2023, where you done bought some stuff in 2022 that's pulling you back. And we need to address those things and unpack those things so we can move forward without regret. Stop wasting your precious time and energy on things that no longer serve you. It's no longer serving you. So if you're willing to move forward in the things of God, it's time to unpack the things that are governing your behavior and just keeping you back. And only you know what that is. Only you know what those things is. So I want to thank you all for tuning into Freedom Friday on Soul Sunday. Again, I had to change my Freedom Friday from the second, to today, because my granddaughter was graduating for VPK and I forgot. So she was going to be upset if Gigi was not going to make her VPK graduation. So this is why we had Freedom Friday on Sunday this week only. The next Freedom Friday is going to be June the 19th at 8 p.m. Freedom Friday. So I thank you all for tuning in. And Grant Browder has put a link in the comments here. And I believe it's for anybody that's looking for a mentor. Let me know, Lane. I'm not sure what that is, but anybody that's looking, and if anybody needs a transformation, I am not going to be doing any coaching until July. I have having surgery tomorrow, everybody, so y'all keep me in prayer. So I'll be out for a while, but I won't be doing any coaching for the month of June. I hope to pick back up in July, providing everything is going well after surgery. So those of you that know the power of prayer, please pray for your girl. Andrea, pray for me, girl. That's my prayer. She prays for me. And keep me lifted in prayer. And I hope you all have a great evening and a wonderful week ahead. Again, the next Freedom Friday is going to be June the 19th at 8 p.m. And I will post a flyer of an upcoming event in Palm Bay. I'm going to put it in the comment section. If you guys are not doing anything from June the 23rd and 24th, it's going to be a great laid back conference. I am one of the speakers on this conference, and it's going to be awesome, y'all. It's laid back, and if you are elated, if there's more to you than meets the eye, you want to register and be in this conference. It is June the 23rd and 24th at Life Changers Outreach Regiment in Palm Bay, Florida, where Apostle Sherilyn Fletcher is the pastor. And again, you want to hop on Eventbrite and register. There's a concert that Friday night, the 23rd, and then workshops and brunch on that Saturday morning. So if you're not doing anything on the 23rd and 24th of this month, you want to meet us down in Palm Bay for the laid back conference. There's more to me. There's more to me. If there is more to you than meets the eye, come and get your iron sharpened by some other iron. So if you're not doing anything, hopefully I can see you there. I will put the flyer in the comment sections here so you can have the information to register. and share the flyer on your page. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I love you all, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.